If you're watching Tell Me Lies, you're probably asking yourself why Wrigley and Evan are even friends with Steven at this point. I know I have been. So, in season two, and even more recently in this season, we are seeing Evan, and in particular Wrigley, really starting to understand how Steven is and what he is capable of. The moment in the bar when Wrigley finally told him how disturbing and weird it was that he stayed living in his dorm even though Drew died there, in my mind, was a really big turning point for all the friendships. I think in the moment that has been the most obvious point at any time that we realize Steven is a sociopath. Now, as a whole, and I've talked about this with regards to grief has a way of changing people. It completely, at least in my experience, diminishes your capacity for dealing with bullshit. You develop this almost intolerance to things that just don't really matter, and you develop a self-reflection and also a lens that you apply to everyone you are spending your time with and giving your energy to. These are the reasons that we are seeing Wrigley become more compassionate and outspoken this season and drawn to people who have also had traumatic experiences and understand how he's changing and what is happening to him. Hence him and Bree's connection. Season 1 Wrigley would not have had the compassion or desire to spend time with Bree on this level. So taking this all into consideration, I really think that Wrigley at this point had just had it with Steven, but the proximity and comfort of their friend group probably is too much for him to disrupt right now in his life. That being said, even at the wedding, in the flash forwards, there is nothing to suggest that Wrigley is close with Steven, and in fact, it's very obvious that he has no trust in him. You also have to question the fact why Steven and Wrigley are not even groomsmen, while Lucy and Pippa are the bridesmaids. This would suggest that after college, the guys, they drifted apart. That being said, I'm not even convinced that they didn't all just lure Steven to the wedding to finally enact their revenge on him. I say revenge for a lack of a better word, for just giving him what he finally deserves. As for Evan, he seems to be a pretty passive, keep the peace, go with the flow type of person. I would assume that at this point he has gathered that Steven is a narcissist. And listen, sometimes people remain friends with narcissists because it's easier than the drama that it will take to end their friendship and the fallout and punishment that will come from that. Because remember, Steven holds the key to Evan being outed for sleeping with Lucy. Steven has proven and shown them all what he's capable of. And in my mind, it only makes sense that they are keeping him close, but at a distance, keeping it cordial. It's an easy path for Evan. I also think as a whole, men, and I don't like to generalize, but still seems men are less likely to just end friendships and are more likely to avoid conflict, never talk about the issues, and just slowly grow apart, meeting up at reunions and weddings and so forth, and that's likely the case here. Here's the truth. What the reality of the friendships are in the wedding timeline really is quite ambiguous. It does seem to me Steven and Wrigley are not really friends at all, and that Wrigley leaving the phone on the table for him to see was a trap of some sort. Diana being in the call log and us knowing Steven is about to ruin Diana's life leads me to believe even more that he is being set up for something big. Yes, only time will tell.